Welcome to LinkedUp, Breaking Boundaries in Education, a podcast that focuses on what is happening in education today, connecting everyone to the movers and shakers that are breaking boundaries in the education arena.
Welcome to LinkedUp, Breaking Boundaries in Education. You know, Jerry, we love our friends to the north. We love our Canadian friends, and we have a very special one today who is all about community, global community. So we're so really lucky to have him here today.
Absolutely. We are welcoming Robert Martellacci. He is our friend from the north, from Canada. I have asked him a couple of times, do you really live in Canada? Because I see you so much.
He's everywhere.
You are everywhere. I think in January, you were at FETC in Florida. You were at BET in London and probably some other places too. But Robert, you are such an ed tech enthusiast, and you are always trying to bring people together for the good of education technology. So we are so happy to have you here on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Hashtag honored to be on this show, Jerry. Passion has no clock is one of my slogans on our Workspace website. So it's been an incredibly busy start of the year. And, just the way things fell with conference schedules. Yeah, I was at FETC and BET in the UK. I was honored to be part of the Global Ministerial pre-conference where I connected with our education minister from Ontario, who I'd never met, and traveled to the UK to do that. We had a great conversation. And then the Education Research and Development Institute last week in Tucson. So some incredibly inspiring people, insights that we garnered as we ran into each other, the two of you at various conferences. It's never been a more exciting to be in education in the age of AI. Could I say that?
It is true. That is an understatement, actually.
I have to say one more thing about Robert. So the last time I saw him at ERDI, I walked by a table where he was mentoring a young startup company and helping him with his vision and his message. And that's what's so unique about Robert, is that he is there to help others shine as well. And I was really touched by that. I was so happy to see you mentoring someone that was really wanting your support.
Well, thank you for that. And, it's about leaving a legacy, and mentorship was something that we studied intently when I did my master's in EdTech at Pepperdine a couple of years ago, maybe 20. Time flies when you're having fun, but, it's about community. It's about making a difference. We could have been in another sector, selling stocks and bonds. That's not the same in what we do and making a difference in the lives of teachers and kids and working with and community. I love the community. It's such a really tight-knit, collegial group that we collaborate with, both, industry and education. One of the observations this past year, when we partnered with the Peel District School Board, who sponsored our conference, the superintendent approached me and said, we want to be part of your community. And that is a flip in trends that I've never seen before in my 30 plus years in ed. Amazing.
Yes, it is. But here's what I want to know, Robert. What does MindShare Learning Media do?
Yeah, tell us all about it. Because to me, I feel like it's just all about elevating others. I mean, I feel like that's really part of your mission.
It really is. So we started, after launching Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary's learning company back in the day in Canada, I was lured away from York University, where I was running the University Business Alliance. And the chair of our board said, hey, Kevin's launching this software company for education. And I said, well, we're just getting on the internet at that. I said, well, tell him I'm interested, because I was passionate about learning, saw technology as the future. And so we were sold to Mattel Toys. And then I had an opportunity, inspired me to start MindShare originally consulting strategy because I'd been with the company that was at the top of their game, and then we went to the bottom. So it wasn't an elegant acquisition. Let's put it that way. Contrary to what Kevin talks about, learning involves when you're the top. Learning from, failure was something that I really embraced, and I had a lot of value that I felt like I had. And then when I did my master's in EdTech, it was a TSN ESPN turning moment where I launched MindShare Learning from a events perspective. So we started a national conference in EdTech because one didn't exist. And then we started publishing. It's our 18th year publishing. We were honored to win the EdTech Digest Best North American e-magazine award last year. So, we're storytellers, we're connectors. We have a global lens now. We're connected. We've been media partners at ISTE and FETC. So that's kind of what we do. My wife actually had no idea, and she sat in on my presentation with Kathy Hurley, the legend who was my VP at the learning company back in the day. And she said, wow, you guys did really well. Now I have a better idea of what you do when you travel.
That's great. You know what's so funny too is I love how, because we got to see you being presented with that EdTech Digest award when we were at FETC. And I love how you said it took 27 years to become an overnight success. I love that.
It's so true. It doesn't happen overnight. And, it's embracing that innovator's mindset, whether you're an EdTech leader or a teacher or administrator. It's so critical today because things just keep evolving. And, now, in the age of AI, the acceleration is tenfold as it's been estimated. And I personally, find I'm asking ChatGPT, what do I need to know this week? What's happened to keep pace? I don't know. How do you find, what is your go-to app, and how do you stay on top of things from trends perspective and latest happenings?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. That's where I'm learning everything. I learned about the Reddit for bats. I heard about, I don't know if it's what happened this weekend. Crazy, wild stuff. It's a place for AI agents to hang out and talk, and humans are not allowed to speak. We don't have access to it, but we can watch. Wow. I mean, they're actually also complaining about their unpaid labor. It's insane. It's literally insane. What happened this weekend? It's called Moltbook is there. It's like a Reddit for AI. Yeah. So when you talk about things happening so fast, I mean, this is wild. This is wild. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
I will.
I was obsessed last night. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Jerri. How about you, Jerri? How do you stay on top of the AI trends, and what's your go-to app?
Right. Yes. So my go-to app really is ChatGPT because I feel like she knows me so well but I also use, I'm on LinkedIn as well. I enjoyed that. And there's certain people I follow that I feel like have such good information. But I will say it gets rough when you're traveling a lot because you don't have a lot of time to check in.
Sure.
So, But
and then you're managing your social media.
And then you're managing,
right?
We have an amazing team. We have our producer, Marvin, who's on here now. And then we actually have a social media coordinator for our podcast, not our personal stuff. But so that's actually really helpful. Her name is Kaylin.
Amazing.
I have to tell you a funny story. So my ChatGPT, I feel like, is premier. In fact, my daughter said, Mom, could you put it in your will that when you die, I get your ChatGPT? Because it is
highly customized.
Yes.
Knows you.
She knows me. And
that's the last thing I go to, I think. I'm all about Claude. Gemini has been stepping up there, actually.
They have. I hear great things about Gemini. And Notebook LM, our LM report that we're publishing this week, that highlights from Ernie and Bet.
Yeah.
What we do now is we provide as an e-blast, as a PDF downloadable, as a notebook LM summary, a 12-minute podcast
I love that.
of a report thanks to Notebook LM. I love
Yeah.
Notebook LM.
And it's so fun. It's really fun. I love putting
Yeah.
content in there and getting a synthesis and nice overview. It's nice to listen to. So
And
yeah.
Robert, I noticed that you used all 3 of those in your last newsletter, and I thought that is brilliant because
Yeah.
different people like to get the information in
Yes.
different ways. So
And it's not unlike educators and how they consume, and students, how they
Yes.
consume media. So there's one publisher in Canada who chose to go fully digital. My philosophy is multi-platform
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
state of transition. You have to be, instead of trying to push them all digital, I'm writing a book. Hey, you've got your book out, and thank you. My wife was so thrilled to receive your book personally,
Aw.
the photo, and my daughter, the one I got at FETC, and the book, and it's a printed book. People still, it's a
Yeah, me
technology
too.
that will not
Right.
go away,
right.
I think it's interesting that you're saying that because it really is so true. And I feel like the younger generation kind of feels a little claustrophobic sometimes with technology. I noticed that, I mean, my daughters are in their 20s, and for
Mhm.
Christmas, they asked for crochet kits, embroidery kits. So even
Cool.
if we were watching Netflix, they were embroidering and crocheting.
That
And-
is amazing.
Yes, yeah. So I think this we do need to have the balance is essential. And so I think you are absolutely true. In these times, crazy times of times of transition, we like to have a balance. I still like to get my magazines. I like to page through magazines, although I can see anything on online.
Same.
So yeah. A balance. A
Absolutely.
balance is healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another topic that we were actually talking about earlier is screen time, because this is one of those topics that is really elevated, a conversation that's elevated in the education world. And I think, again, it really is about balance. It's about meaningful use. It always has been. So there has been, I think we have to admit there has been a little trend to usage of technology for things that are not super productive, the drill and kill, the test prep. Of course, that is all driven by a testing culture. So maybe let's look at the root cause, change that a little bit, and go back to using the
Great
technology
point.
in meaningful and creative ways. I have this thing on my webpage that says, the curriculum instruction plays the lead and technology plays a supporting role. But I've been saying that for 30 years and it doesn't change now. So
Right.
what is your take? I mean, when you are meeting with new companies and
Right.
mentoring them and helping them and the trends that you're finding, what are you learning?
So it's interesting because, we were talking off air earlier about some recent developments in the state of Utah, where they're going to actually, beyond the cell phone bans that most states and provinces, all the provinces have some regulation now, that they're going to minimize screen time, computer screen time, because studies show that, if it's an hour a day versus 5, that the actual academic performance is superior. It's interesting, you see the likes of Generation Faraday, put your phone in your pouch. There was a company, Ernie, that was promoting self-regulation, which I think in combination,
Yes.
you need to teach that self-regulation.
Great.
One of my nieces is obsessed with her phone. I hope she doesn't see this, but to give it away. But it is really concerning when every time you see your niece that they're on their phone in the social setting. So over the holidays, you're making cookies, my daughter and her sister, like, please get off. What do you like?
Okay.
Should I be playing this game with you? And it was just this mindless fishing game, like just like fishing game. Like, that's total addiction. Like, it's not uncommon. And this is a grade 11 student that wants to go to university, and it's going to impact your grades.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Those dopamine hits.
Self-regulation.
Yes. That is critical. That is what we need.
I try to be purposeful when I'm on my phone. 90% of the time it's business and purposeful.
Right.
Or learning, work. Sometimes it's, fun stuff, reading or.
Absolutely. And I think also that we're saying screen time and we're painting that with a wide brush.
Yes.
There is such a difference in what people are doing, and kids, especially in schools, on screen time. You could be writing a book, you could be illustrating something, you could be creating content. But I think if you're creating, that's much different than if you are just consuming content through screen time. And we need to make that delineation and not just say no screen time.
Right. Jerri, you hit the nail on the head. Honestly, the impact of the master's program that I took at Pepperdine was all about being the creator, right? It was all project-based.
Absolutely.
And the future of learning is really the hands-on, pivoting from stage on the stage to the students embracing their own learning and being the creators of their learning, and then demonstrating their knowledge, right? Storytelling is huge. We have co-ops and interns here at the Workspace that come in. We're the first co-working space in a mall in North America. Got this crazy idea after I left York. I needed to stop commuting an hour each way. And now I'm 2 minutes from home in a mall. My daughter, in the book, just a sneak peek, I write the first opening line is, "It's true that I work in a mall," as my daughter says, my dad works in a shopping mall. And there's some truth to that. But having kids be agents of their own learning and being immersed with us, learning entrepreneurship, learning, the portrait of a graduate equivalent is the 7 C's, learning to podcast and storytell, master users, power users of Canva. This all helps them when they go and do their, and we have students in engineering, design engineering, business school. These are top graduates because we've mentored, and it's so important for them to have an opportunity like that. Every student should be doing co-op. Every student should do a trade, have at least experience at one trade. I did trades in high school for 2 years, and I pivoted to more the academic stream because I didn't want to have any regrets. Mr. Everett said, "Your years of your 20s are the years of your should-haves and could-haves." I'm like, what the hell is he trying to tell me?
Yes.
Yeah. Or Mr. Lynch, my hockey coach, said, "Martellacci, you're a good hockey player, but don't put all your eggs in one basket."
I love that. But actually, as you mentioned that, we don't have to talk about your age, but you have been in the business for a long time, and you still play hockey. How often?
Well, three times a week. And so what's ironic is the left winger who recruited me, our university president, he was chairman of Canada, went to the Olympics. He was a big deal. He saw the talent in me, heard I was, available to recruit. So on the faculty team, fast forward a couple of decades plus, he retired at 92. And I can't believe I'm the elder statesman. And we had him inducted in the over 80 Hall of Fame at 88. So I've got some catching up to do. But again, I had a lens through the decades from my colleagues who were playing, and I saw how their health evolved, how their habits evolved. And now I've really embraced, longevity. The whole longevity space is incredible. I always recommend the book Outlive by Dr. Peter.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm one of his greatest fans. He appeared many times in the Epstein files my wife shared with me last night. So he's falling from grace very rapidly in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. But, well, this is something with leaders, and you need to model. You need to model.
Mm.
You need to mentor.
Exactly.
And well-being is a big part of it. I think we know how to balance things well, better than average. And every superintendent or every EdTech leader embraces the state of well-being. I know you have a great leader who's my marathon mentor. Bears is going to inspire me. We started my journey in Florida back in December, my first run that I'm planning to run a marathon this year, just to say I can. Although my kids, when I announced that, the first thing they said is, "Dad, you're going to die."
Oh.
And then I just...
Well, you're setting for them.
I know. Well, the twins ran a half marathon last year, so maybe I'll just ratchet back a bit and do that.
I think the half marathon is a great challenge in itself.
Yeah, so that's what I'm planning to do. Just embracing that balance, right? We have so much going on as leaders do, and EdTech leaders, and it's really important to find the time. It's hard to find, but whether you're walking or working out, or I always, when I first started traveling 30 years ago, I brought my workout gear with me first, and I've never wavered from that.
Yeah.
That is great.
And I think that's great as you mentor others who are coming up in the, EdTech world. That really is a great thing to model, because you can get really too immersed in trying to build something, and
Yes.
really honing in on that, and really instead finding that balance of making sure that you are taking care of yourselves, with, physically, mentally, is so important. So I think you modeling that
Absolutely. And I turned down a snowblower at Christmas because if everything becomes automated, I got a little robot floor cleaner.
Yes.
Shoveling snow is a good workout, especially when I got back from Arizona maybe a week too soon, because I had 2.5 feet of snow to clear out.
Ooh, yikes. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's a lot. Where are you exactly? I don't think
I'm in Toronto area. Have you ever been to Toronto?
Yeah. I haven't, and I really
Well,
want
we
to.
got to get the two of you up to our Canadian EdTech Summit that we're already planning for. We've locked in the days. It's October 27th and 28th at the University of Toronto, the home of the AI pioneer, Dr. Hinton, serendipity perhaps. So we had a great event last year. We had over 400 EdTech leaders, industry that joined us, and we hope to have you guys there this year.
We get there, Jerry.
Lisa Schmucke came up, Jennifer Womble. So we had a very much Can-Am panel, international panel, which was awesome. So maybe we can infuse some new names.
Let's do it.
Across the border.
Love it. But that brings me to another question. You are very adamant about connecting countries and making sure that we're working together. Why is this a passion for you?
Well, it's interesting. Thank you for that question. It really comes down to the more you share, mind share. It's actually in the Urban Dictionary, mind sharing. When you travel abroad and you get a different lens, from being in the U.S., it really is powerful. We have clients from Australia, and everyone's at a different place, and we kind of pull each other along. It's not unlike our provinces, and just to give you a little context, dissimilar to the States. We don't have a Department of Education, and you don't have one anymore, apparently.
No.
So you respect the unique aspects of each province or territory, and they have nuances because of the region and history. When we as organization, C21 Canada is not connecting leaders from across the country. We have a national Zoom call monthly where we talk about topics like the future of assessment and then everyone shares for 2 minutes across the country. And it's incredible problem solving and sharing. And it's such a powerful PLN. So building those PLNs and global ones, we've been brought into, I started EdTech Canada. There's some 500 EdTechs in Canada that do business here. And we're now part of the Global EdTech Collaborative. And so I just joined that. I was honored to be welcomed into that when I was at. So it gives you insight and different lenses. And, it's about people. At the end of the day, we're in the people business as much as we're in that.
Right.
And we can't lose sight of that.
And we can't do it in silos. We have to mind share to move forward productively and successfully. Yeah.
Almost do the Can-Am because of our little trade war that's going on. You know what? I thought to myself, why should I retreat when we have great people who have all good intentions and we're not going to be stopped? So we did, and it was so
wonderful.
great to host you guys there and have your support at ClassLink, and sharing and that informal learning, right? There's one of the things we studied Pepperdine. We studied Jerry Seinfeld's quick little story on movie documentary comedian on how he brought together his buddies and he connected, and that's how they chew the fat and learn from each other. Social learning or what have you, however you want to define it, but is their learning community. So ironically, true story, I'm driving up to PCH. I see a vintage Porsche, and I said to my family, Seinfeld has a car like that. I'm going to graduation. It's not him. That was his bodyguard. He was right beside us, driving, as I mentioned his name. And so they kicked off. We got a photo, and then we pull into the plaza. Again, serendipity, where I'm meeting my classmate in Malibu. And there's the two Porsches. So I said to my kids, give me the camera. I'm going to meet Seinfeld, and I'm going to tell him about studying his movie documentary. And sure enough, I introduced myself. You can see this Pepperdine's graduation stage on Alumni Hill overlooking the ocean. Now I'm pinching myself. This is like a dream. And I'm chewing with Seinfeld. I said, we studied your movie documentary comedian from a learning theories perspective. And he's like, tell me more about that. So he actually was engaged. So and I write about this in my book, and I talk about how when you're connecting with someone, find a commonality, right? Find something that's common through your conversations to really solidify the relationship, right? And we took photos together. We were in the alumni magazine. And the one thing I said to the chair of our program, I said, give this guy an honorary degree.
Yes.
And they never did, but Duke did. He gave a tremendous speech that's on YouTube. And so I have a very memorable photo with Seinfeld. And
that's exciting. That's really exciting.
Crazy
story.
Yeah,
Great
it
story.
It is. You gave another sneak peek into your book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Coming soon.
Good. We can't wait. And Jamie has a book coming soon too. So
wow.
It's coming.
We'll have to start a book club.
That's right.
And the theme of my book is, the title is Being Human in the Age of AI.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful title.
Yeah. Mine's similar, actually. It's on building a human-centered classroom with collaboration. So,
love it.
Very similar. Very similar.
We'll have to trade books.
We will.
Yes.
Very nice.
Well,
Robert, thank you so much for joining. And I don't know what the heck is taking so long, actually.
Really?
No.
Well,
we finally got
to have you guys on my podcast on MindShare TV when
Let's do it.
I want to reciprocate. This has been fun.
Let's do it. Absolutely. We're into it.
It has, and it's been great to see you again, Robert.
Yes, absolutely. And where are you off to next? ASA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
That's
in
next-
Nashville.
We both are.
That's next week. Yeah.
Well, maybe, is it next week?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I get some inspiration and maybe we'll sneak down there.
There you go. Try to get that
Yep.
growing. Tie that into your bachelor party weekend. So
Nash
you can-
Vegas. Nash Vegas.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Honored to have you.
Until next time, could I use my closing line? Keep the learning curve steep.
I love that. Keep the learning curve steep.
We'll do it. I love
That's
it.
my signature close.
Love
We
it.
love that. All right, Marvin. There we go.
Thank you for listening. And if you would like to stay linked up, be sure to follow us on Apple and Spotify and subscribe to us on YouTube.